Willkommen zu the Surfers Podcast. I am your host.
Willkommen. Guten Abend und guten Tag, guten Morgen.
Guten Essen. Und
Willst du ein bisschen Schnitzel essen?
Schnitzel essen, das ist gut, das ist schön, ja.
Ja, sehr schön.
This is dein Podcast, Twofold Podcast. I am your host, Timothy,
Yes.
and this is my co-host, Philippine. Say hi, Philippine.
Hi, Philippine.
Hi, Philippine. So we are going to talk about. I switched the accent.
We're going to talk about.
Went South African for some reason.
I can't do South Africa.
It's hard. It's hard, man. So yeah, we're back. Another 2 weeks. We're here.
We're back. Woo! It's you know what? These weeks they're just screaming by.
Screaming by.
Tim.
You're a busy boy. Screaming.
It just feels like it's been 3 days since Space Jam.
Space Jam. Yeah.
Do you remember Space Jam? I remember Space Jam.
So listen.
I believe I can fly.
So listen. I can't believe I fell into this trap again. You know what? If the world was in order, if the world had sorted it out, and none of this region crap, we would be sitting like ducks and enjoying a Green Knight, a movie I've been looking forward to for a while. But no.
Oh, yes. When people say sitting ducks, that's kind of a negative term.
Okay, how about sitting?
That means you're gonna be shot at.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be shot at by a great movie, and I want to be shot at great movie. I want to die from a great movie.
I know. This episode was probably going to be the Green Knight episode. And I was thinking, what movie could we have with the... Do you want me to spoil the surprise if we ever get to Green Knight anyway?
Spoil a surprise for me. I know nothing about this movie.
Because my suggestion... I know nothing about it either, but like the suggestion, the companion film...
Okay, sure.
Watch.
Why not?
Oh, I would want to watch John Borman's Excalibur.
Back to Excalibur we go. Yeah, why not?
Oh, that'd be great. I haven't seen that film. I've only seen the beginning of that film when I was like 15.
Why don't we watch Kids of the Round Table again?
Oh no!
Imagine that combination. Imagine.
Are you a Burger King? Chicken out of King? I'm sure Jacob is having great flashbacks.
Yes, he's having the bestest flashbacks listening to that. Yeah, we should be watching Green Knight, but unfortunately in Europe, no site yet. I was looking at IMDb.
That sucks.
I contacted my local art house cinema. No response. They got nothing.
Do they say, we do not care for peasants like you?
No, it's funny. I looked at my Instagram and basically every year for the last 5 years, I just bothering them. Like, when is this movie coming out? Like, it was about The Lighthouse before that. It was something else before that. And I think this is the last time they just give up. They were like, will not respond.
It would be so funny. It'd be so funny if they actually did like email you out of the blue and be like, hey, Tim, we know you love this film.
It's ready.
It's coming out.
It's ready. Come see it.
It's ready for you.
So there's that one movie. And so that didn't come out. I looked at IMDb. It says 17th of August, Slovakia. So color me surprised if that actually comes out. Because there's no, like, none of the cinemas are planning for it. I don't know. So maybe we'll see it.
Well, I mean, if it says it's 17th of August, it better be 17th of August.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think wasn't there another art house movie? Yes, The Lighthouse that we didn't watch.
No, because it just had to wait for I think I waited like 3 months until it came.
Is it going to be the same with Green Knight? No,
I fear so. It was A24 as well, so I don't know. Their distribution isn't that big, so sadly we might have to wait for the Green Knight.
It's sad. I'm always waiting for some movie that Tim's looking forward to. Instead, we have to suffer through. No, not suffer. We're just dumped on with this one because there's nothing else, right?
Yeah, I thought it's gonna be fine, but I regretted my decision immediately. I think 5 minutes into the movie, I was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna survive this." So yeah.
Oh man,
so,
I left it till last minute.
So if you hear bias and negativity, this is going to be bias and negativity. I was regretting my life within 5 minutes of this movie, so that kind of tainted whatever positive experience I might have had.
Speaking of which, I just remembered, when I was in Japan almost 2 years ago now, wow. and I was in a cafe and I was hearing people having a conversation.
Okay.
And there just happened to be like these two voices talking right next to me, but there was like a
Disemboweled
not a fence,
voices,
but
ghosts, Japanese ghosts.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see their faces because of the there was like a, what do you call that? Just like a wooden barrier.
the privacy box.
And then I could hear one person speaking and another person. I didn't even know it was a person because all I could hear was It
was just an agreement
and
box.
I was like, is there a motorboat? Someone trying to fix a motorboat next to me. But you know, that's how it is. That's what it is. And I just remembered when I was just speaking to you just now. That's exactly what they do in Japan. You have to keep going so people know that you're listening. You're listening.
Good. So should we do an entire podcast just like those villagers in Minecraft? Some of you kids won't know the original name, and that's how I call them still.
Wait, what are they called now?
They're just called Villager, but they used to be called when they were like in the beta version where they were trying them out. For some reason, they all had like a little tag around, and it said testificate. I don't know what the hell that means.
Really?
Yeah.
Testificate?
I used to call them testificates for a very long time.
Oh, the testificates are coming.
The testificates.
We have to trade our barley for the emeralds.
For the trades. All right, so
okay. I know that we want to get to Jungle Cruise and the other movie.
yeah.
But
what do you want?
But I was gonna say that what I was doing these 2 weeks was that my friend Luke, friend of the show, I've been watching quite a few movies in a very short amount of time because my friend Luke wanted to revisit with me because he actually has a writing job for this podcast starring Paul McGann, if you know who that is.
No idea. Who's Paul McGann?
He's a British actor. He was in I just keep remembering him from Alien 3. He played Golic in Alien 3. The crazy guy.
I didn't watch Alien 3.
Oh, you didn't watch Alien 3.
No. Why do you spell his last name?
I remember that from Paul McGann. 2 N's.
Oh, McGann. Okay. Let's see.
And he was also the doctor in the only Doctor Who movie he was in.
Oh, he's a Doctor Who movie man. That's how I know him.
Yeah. And so good on Luke. Great job.
Good on him.
One of the and that podcast is about telling stories in history. So he was writing a story that they liked because he was hired for it for Blackbeard, the infamous captain Edward Teach, Blackbeard.
The famous Caribbean pirate.
And Luke was like, you know what? Since I'm doing this, Phil, do you want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean again?
Ooh, that's good.
Me?
That's good. That ties in very well with this junk we're doing
I know,
today.
right? I know. Movies based on theme parks attractions
by Disney, the only ones.
Oh no! Come on. There's other ones. There's the Country Bears, and then there's Haunted Mansion. as well.
No, I meant like the wait. Are they the only studio that made movies based on rides?
Oh yeah, I can't think of can you remember? Universal usually has their rides based on movies.
That's true. I was gonna intro this.
Oh, I would totally. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna intro this podcast episode. It's like we move from Warner Brothers just making movies based on properties they have to go into Disney, who would even scrape lower and just scrape their rides. But yeah,
I know.
But
yeah, they do.
They do. But they did this before, and it made lots of money, and it was it was famous and stuff like that. So I was surprised that it took them a while to do it again.
It took a while. I think it was just because I can see why it took them a long time because we watched Pirates, Curse of the Black Pearl, which I think still holds up. And I mean, it's not a masterpiece, but I find it a very good adventure film, And then we moved on to Pirates 2 and 3, which, they had potential and there's a lot of value to it. But in the end, it's just it's not nonsense, but it's just incredibly convoluted. I can't believe it. It's hard. It's a hard watch near the end. Skipped 4 because 4 is a load of crap.
Isn't
and
4
then we
with
went
Blackbeard?
to 5 because Yes, it is. That's the one we skipped.
So you read
ironically.
a thing about Blackbeard, then you skipped the Blackbeard one.
I remember because that one sucks, man. It's so bad. I've seen it only once, and I don't want to see it again.
Wait, there's
never
5?
again. And then there's 5, which I've never seen. I didn't care. Came out in 2017.
Is 5
and
with
there's
Penelope
a reason.
Cruz?
No, that's 4.
Wait, they made another one?
They made another one, 2017.
Are you serious?
It's directed by the two people who directed the film Kon-Tiki. I don't know if you know that film.
No, I know a game called
It's a
Kon-Tiki.
Norwegian movie. Huh. Well, it's a Norwegian movie about the same subject matter, which is
pirates.
These guys are trying to... No, Kon-Tiki is not a pirate movie. It's
no.
These guys...
The boat people.
Yes, the boat people, which I found quite an interesting movie. And I love that it steered away from cliches, because you expect a lot of things to happen that are cliche with people stuck on a boat and, you know, you can already imagine.
Were those the guys who were trying to prove that they took like potatoes from Hawaii to South America or something like that?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh,
it was a pretty decent film. I would recommend it.
Dead Men
Also
Tell
great
No
sharks in
Tales,
there.
right? That's with
And then they made
Javier,
that. Then they made that with Javier or Javier? I don't know.
I don't know how to say that. Bardem.
And man, I can see why they stopped, because that movie was there's no other way to say it. It was pathetic. It was a pathetic film.
It's like the kids or something like that. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the kids concept. It's also, it's just not well done. You watch it and it's just no good. There's like no connect. You don't feel anything.
Feel nothing.
You feel nothing. So of course they're not going to do any more movies based on rides.
Weird.
Same with Haunted Mansion. Same with Country Bear.
They're gonna do Haunted Mansion sooner or later.
They did it already, but I think that they're going to do it again.
Wait.
They did it already with Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
There's
what?
a movie that came out in 2004, I think, or 3, with Eddie Murphy. It was Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion.
They went
like,
double feature.
We're going big on this. Yeah.
Oh, I guess Eddie Murphy. It was. Oh, okay. Yes, I see
never saw
poster.
it, so I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, that's Buena Vista Pictures. That's Disney.
Yep.
Came
When the
out
tombstones quake and the chills. No, wait, how does it go?
2003. Oh, it's a horror comedy.
When Pirates 1 came out.
Who made this?
Creak and the tombstones quake.
Rob Minkoff. Who's Rob Minkoff?
Rob Minkoff was the co-director of Lion King, most famously.
Stuart Little. That should have been.
Oh yeah, he did that too. Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
Anyway, big long line of failures from making movies out of their rides. Which do you want me to go to a little segue real quick, just to because I would talk about Disney rides, and I find it. Even though I've never been on any.
Oh, that was going to be my question.
Fascinating.
If you ever been on a Disney ride, but before we get there,
I mean, yes, I have. Let's do it. Come on, go.
Okay, so before we begin, that was my questions actually, because of what it doesn't really relate to the second movie we watched, but for the first one, the movie we're comparing today is Jungle Cruise from Disney 2001. We got
oh man, my joke. I was thinking about this for the past 2 days. My joke was going to be like, here we have these 2 films. One of a charming film about 2 people getting together against all odds on a boat, going through all kinds of dangers.
Getting on a boat? What?
No, on a boat, getting into all kinds of dangers and adventures and learning to live with each other and eventually finding the good in each other. And the other movie's Jungle Cruise. So that was going to be my joke.
I see.
And I don't think it's lame. Terrible joke. Terrible joke.
Right.
Just go on.
Okay, so the first movie he described, Phil, was The African Queen from 1951.
51.
Yeah, we got what other faces? We got Humphrey
Catherine
Bogart.
Hepburn.
Buggart. It's
Humphrey
a Bogart. It's a Bogart.
It's a Humphrey Bogart, Harry.
It's a Humphrey.
Take him down.
And Catherine.
He's going to look at you, kid.
Hepburn. It's exactly
Directed by John Huston.
What? John Huston did this.
John Huston. Yes.
John Huston did this. It's
who famously was, of course, as everyone knows, the voice of Gandalf from the 1977 Hobbit and the 1981 Return of the King.
That was Phil Dragish. There's no John Huston.
Hear now a delectable tale of the One Ring.
Right,
Aragorn. That's how he sounds.
Aragorn.
Like,
So it's as Phil described, 2 folks. They in Africa because of the World War I. a man and a woman. They are trapped on a boat. They're all crazy. They want to go blow up
They're nuts.
German steamboat by making their boat a kamikaze propeller. It's a crazy story.
Yes, they do.
It's a crazy story.
It's from 1951. I know nothing about this movie, so when I started watching it, the vibe at the beginning, I thought it was just going to be some drama. It's going to be like a cold kind of drama film, about missionaries in Africa and about classes, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But that doesn't happen when the Germans show up.
No. That's all out of the window. So we watched The African Queen.
It goes all out of the window.
Because the movie we picked that I regret watching was The Jungle Cruise, the new movie from Disney based on the ride, The Jungle Cruise, a classic ride in Disney World and Disneyland. I don't know, maybe both, maybe one of them. I don't know. But the only reason why I picked The African Queen, I never even knew about that movie, is on Wikipedia. I don't know where it was written. I think it was production, but somebody mentioned it was supposed to be in the spirit of The African Queen. I clicked on it and I was like, hey, this looks cool. There's a couple on a boat going through Africa. This is a big, good movie to compare to. So we picked that. So Jungle Cruise is also a man and a woman on a boat, but there's also a big cat. I think it's a leopard.
No, it's a jaguar. Come on, Tim,
sorry,
get your geography.
I'm sorry, jaguar, because it's South
right.
America, and her friend / fake husband / brother. I'm not sure which of those three is. Can't remember. And they're going because she believes in might and magic, and she knows there is this
Who wants to lead?
sacred tree that if you drink the petals, you fix health. And she goes with this man, the Rock Johnson, and she is. Jake is probably hating this because I'm so butchering this, but she is.
No, Jacob. If Jacob's listening, he's gonna be our like representation of the audience. So listen, The Mummy, 1999, plus a little bit of Tomb Raider. There you go. That's Jungle Cruise. And just worse.
Yeah, I have all these questions for you about how this compares to The Mummy.
I'm so sorry. We're front loading this.
That's okay, but association. We're good on the thing. So Jungle Cruise. Yeah, that's the movie. They go look for the petal, and there's also a World War I submarine chasing them because he wants the petal. Obviously, a little bit of Indiana Jones.
Not as exciting as it sounds.
A little bit of Indiana Jones in there as well. Some cliches, some garbage stolen and put in here.
The entire movie is a cliche. It's just a paint by the numbers movie. Paint by the numbers.
What?
They see the numbers. We paint in there. That's what it is. They left no number unpainted.
No number unpainted. So I have a lot of questions for Phil because he loves trash like this. So.
Does it sound like I love trash like this, Tim?
No. I wanted to ask you stuff because this reminded me a lot about, because
about
of
my
ride,
trash taste. Yeah.
About your trash, about Pacific Rim, about Pirates of the Caribbean. It reminded me a lot about the Mummy. So I want to ask you questions like, how does this compare to this stuff? To the trash you love.
Okay.
But before that,
Tim, come on, interview me.
No, before that, we have to go back. We have to talk about why the hell was this movie made? We have to talk about rides because we had this conversation about a couple of weeks back, maybe a month or two back.
I
live in Europe. I've been to US when I was 4 years old. And in Europe, things like theme parks.
How old are you now, Tim? You're 32?
I am about 67. No, I'm 32.
Okay, so that was like the 70s?
What? That was 90s. So, but in Europe, a thing like theme park is not really a big thing. We have like a big old, like what is it called? Like a Luna Park, right? Where you ride the crazy roller coasters. We have that. You have museums where you look at history. You have art installations. But we don't
put them together.
you don't put them together and then make like cartoon characters put on costumes and pretend they're real for children. So we don't have. What do we do in Paris? Obviously, but rest of the Eastern Europe where I grew up. So a theme park is not really something I'm used to, and really wasn't something I was interested in. So for some damn reason, I stumbled upon a YouTube channel of like this couple who reviews theme parks, like Disneyland, and you mentioned the Universal Studio, and there's like the new MCU world. And I knew nothing of this world, like zero. I knew there was like a Harry Potter thing. I saw a couple pictures of that, so I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. and I was shocked to see when they were like walking around, it was mainly adults walking. I thought this was a thing for kids. And there's like, there's lots of like adults walking around and getting excited for this thing, and it was very fake and silly to me to see it like someone looking like Doctor Strange, like saying lines of Doctor Strange, and people going like mental over it. And I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, what is this? And then I knew of like Disneyland, obviously, like it's a common thing. So I was like looking up, and I watched some videos, like a history video of the haunted mansion, and just like the ride and everything, and it's still like funny to me, because it's like I've been to like a like the scary house, right? Like Prater, where this dude's like grabbing you by the arms.
Oh yes, Prater.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like we're supposed to scare you, but the haunted mansion isn't really supposed to scare you. It's like a whimsical ride, right?
Yeah, it's Disney. That's what Disney does. Yeah.
Right.
They don't make it too scary. They don't make it too intense. Except for that alien ride they had, which I'm so sad I never got to ride.
So have you been to these things? Do you like them? What do you think about them? Tell me, Phil.
Well, I'll tell you. So to quote Walt Disney, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here, age relives fond memories of the past, and here, youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future." Disney. Okay, I'm
turning into Howard
I'm almost
Stark.
done. I'm almost done. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have made and created America, with hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
Wow.
Well, of course he's turning into Howard Stark. That's what he's modeled on. That's what Howard Stark is modeled on. Like when you watched Iron Man 2 and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, that's Disney.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Because he had a whole TV show. Okay, look, I'll tell you. The reason why I even know that quote is because I am very fascinated with the idea of making theme parks. Because Walt Disney, I actually read a biography of Walt Disney, believe it or not, like a long time ago. And what I loved about it was that he was sitting around at a fair, taking his kids to a fair, and then he realized that, the fairs are dirty, they have no... they're like just ragtag stuff. It's Luna Park in Europe. You know what I mean? It has
His kids throwing up from eating too much candy.
There's no safety measures. There's no, it's just there where you spend money and you sit there, and usually and he noticed like all the adults are bored. They're not doing anything. It's just for the kids. There's just cheap entertainment. And so he thought that what if we could make something that would be appealing to everyone, So that's where the idea came from. And I'm fascinated personally with how things are made, because they have so many interesting innovations and creativity that is involved into trying to get you into the world, And it's not a movie, it's not a story, it's not a book. It's like you go into an experience, right? And so I love that stuff. So I know a lot about Disney's older rides. I know a lot about their newer rides. The irony is that I've never been to one. I've only been to Disney World in Florida in 1997 when I was 8.
Okay.
That's it. One day.
What did you go to?
Usually people say, I went to, let's see, MGM Studio. So Disney World has three lands, right?
The War of the Lands, the MGMT has fighting.
That's right. Well, I'm telling you, it was MGM Studios, formerly MGM Studios, now it's Hollywood Studios in Disney World. Then there was the Magic Kingdom Park, which is, as you can imagine, it has the castle. And
it's the Mickey.
Sleeping Beauty's castle. Yeah, exactly. And then the third one is Epcot. This was before they even built Animal Kingdom, which is the fourth one now. But there's the Epcot, which is the fourth one. The third one. Epcot is, let's not get into that because that's a whole thing.
What is Epcot?
Disney wanted, Epcot is another one of the lands in Disney World in Florida that right now is more focused on teaching kids and adults like science. And,
is this like Future World?
Future.
What was that movie with Brad Bird?
It's not Future. Yeah, no. That's the Brad Bird thing. called Tomorrowland, which
That's
is
different?
based on a subsection in Disneyland called Tomorrowland, where they had like futuristic stuff, but it was all kind of like a fantasy future. It wasn't like a real future. But Epcot is like more education based, so it has like where you can experience like what was there in Epcot when I was in the 90s?
In the 90s.
I don't know anything about
the
it.
Cell phones, I don't know.
Like, so Epcot has this huge ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know that big metallic golf ball?
I'm looking at pictures right now so I can see the metallic golf ball.
Yeah. And it's that housed I think it's called the Wheel of Progress. I don't know what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an actual ride in there. And it was supposed to show you where humanity started and where it will end, or like in the future.
That's how where it will end. That's pretty dramatic.
No, not end. Sorry, where it goes into the future.
Okay.
That's what
the
I was
bright
trying to
future.
do. Yeah. So it's kind of, so Epcot is more like that. It's about like discovery and nature and so all that kind of stuff. So, but originally Epcot was supposed to be an actual city that Walt Disney was designing, a real one where people would live in, that would be made as a testing ground for companies to innovate new products for the future.
Okay.
It was a very ambitious thing that Walt Disney wanted to develop, and it had nothing to do with like entertainment or something. It was like literally, this is going to be like an experimental zone where companies and organizations can test new technologies and ways of living. So they would start testing with like how roads and how streets would be made, and like how you can compartmentalize and convenience and improve on how you live your life in the world, right?
Yes.
Now, Walt Disney died, and so that never happened. And in 1966 when he died, they weren't able to make that Epcot concept,
City
right?
of Future.
And Epcot actually, let me think of what it was. Epcot was
so futuristic. Epcot.
Well, it's called the Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what it was all meant to be, but Walt Disney died in 1966, so they never could really develop on it. So they made it into a theme park. That's
hilarious. I didn't know there was like more to this. I thought it was just like, you walk around Disney princess, take pictures with the Disney princess. That's I didn't understand.
The entire thing with
so
Disney
tell me,
parks is that Walt Disney was very much and very ambitious. He did like a lot of things that goes beyond the animated movies and properties. But I love the history of all that. I love thinking about how they made the rides and their creativity. I don't have much of a will to actually go and ride anything.
wait in line and then go.
Like if you would tell me, hey Philip, you want to go to Disney World? And it's like, am I paying for it? And if I am, then I'm probably not going to go.
How much does a ticket cost?
I think a ticket back in 1997, I think it was for a day, it was like $70.
Right now it's probably like 500.
Yeah, it was so much. Actually, when I was in Petrovac once, when I was visiting, your sister, and when all her kids were there, because they're all adults now and stuff, and I was like, how much money do I need to have to get all of you guys with me and Tim and all of us together to go to Disney World for like a week? Turned out to be about $7,000.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's close to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So tell me about the Jungle Cruise.
Wait. We're not done. You didn't get me to. Okay, Magic Kingdom is like all the fairy tale stuff, and so when I was there, I rode on, because it was only one day per world, and we didn't go to Epcot because my parents said it would be boring, so we never went, and I was very disappointed.
They didn't like the bright future.
Yeah, no bright future.
You must live in fairyland, Philip.
Okay,
you must think of fairies.
Okay, so MGM, we first went to MGM, and it was the Great Movie Ride, which was a ride it's like a dark ride. Do you know what a dark ride is?
I have no idea what any of these things are.
Okay. A dark ride is just basically, those rides that are indoors and you just go through a track and there's lights on some animatronics and stuff and you just keep going.
That sounds riveting.
I know, they're the most boring kind of ride. It's called a dark ride. Movie ride. We went to... I can't remember anything else from there. But okay, the big ones,
just the dark ride.
the big ones in Disney that I remember the most, which is funny because I closed my eyes through most of it, was the Haunted Mansion. We went to the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, so you saw that one?
I saw that one. I quote unquote saw it. My eyes were closed throughout the entire time. I just heard my dad laughing.
Too spooky.
Yeah, and Jacob's eyes were open though and stuff, and yeah, it was that.
Maybe that's why he's scarred. He doesn't want to see like horror movies. He's just like haunted by the Haunted Mansion.
Maybe. What else was there? There was. It's not getting to me, so I don't think you're going to get a lot out of me. This was 20 years ago.
That's fine. That's fine. We can talk about. We can talk about like we haven't even talked about the movies yet. But I want to talk about the Jungle Cruise now. So you say you know things. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what the hell is the Jungle Cruise? What's the ride that the movie is based on? What is this? What is this Jungle Cruise?
The Jungle Cruise was a ride that was developed during the first Walt Disney, the first generation OG Disneyland. OG. Yeah. So OG Disneyland had like a western area called Frontierland. They had Tomorrowland. They had all these different lands in Disneyland, and they made all their rides original. So it's not like a ride based on one of their movies. They had those, but it wasn't like their big rides weren't based on any movies, which I think is excellent. And they stopped doing that now. So Jungle Cruise was one of those, and you basically got onto a boat, and the boat would go on a track, but you wouldn't see the track because it was all under the water.
Hidden underwater. You think like you're actually being driven.
And if it's not a track, then it is an actual boat, and those are people who are actually driving a boat through a tiny little river, like making a circle, and there would be a guy or a girl on the like in the movie, like what The Rock does. He's just showing the tourists the different animals. Oh, look over there, there's a toucan. And then they make silly jokes about like how many, toucan, like puns and stuff like that. And most of all of the garbage
puns,
that was like the hot
in the
thing.
movie are based on what they do on the ride.
Yeah. Like the intro with The Rock when he was like talking about those animals, and, you remember? And the guests are getting bored.
I was so confused. Why are they hammering in these puns, which they never come back at the end? Oh, so it's based on a reference on the ride. Oh, God. I wonder how many more of these things will pop up.
And so there was like a hippopotamus, and they're like, look, and it's an animatronic hippopotamus. It's an old ride. It's charming. It's from the 50s, It's had some renovations in the future. I don't know what you could say about that.
Okay, yeah. I get it.
And that's it. That's the Jungle Cruise. And it's just people remember it because it's charming and, it's part of their childhood. So why not make a movie out of it?
Gotcha. Okay. So 2021, they released Jungle Cruise. It's got Emily Potts, Emily Watson, Emilia
Clarke.
Emily, where are you, Emily? Why am I looking at the Three Musketeers?
Be blunt about it. It's Emily Blunt.
Be blunt. Emily Blunt is over there. Oh, I'm looking at Paul McGann for some reason.
Okay, so Emily Blunt, she's like no-nonsense woman, action lady, clever, smart, intelligent, all the ticks, you're just going down the list. What is our lead female like? She ticks them all.
Here's the thing. Right? So here's the thing. You know what I said at the beginning, that I regretted this movie like in 5 minutes? So let me just tell you, like,
I regretted this movie when the narration started at the beginning.
So we're talking about Jungle Cruise, and the thing is, it starts off with all the cliches in the world, except one, which is not a cliche, it's just a bizarre choice. The movie starts off with an instrumental of Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters."
See, I didn't get that because I wasn't familiar with it.
It's the most bizarre thing.
I hate
You're
it
watching
now.
A Disney movie based on a ride about the jungle, and it starts off with Metallica. Nothing else matters.
I can't believe it. I didn't even notice
it was bizarre.
I didn't notice that.
And it starts off with the cliche of, the scientific community not believing in hocus pocus. And it's like, we're immediately in this tropey junk there, and they're like,
you forgot about the tropes. You forgot about the trope of the narrator at the beginning saying there was the
we
MacGuffin.
got that as And then it goes into like
take it.
nasty CGI action scene of like cookiness with cookie music, cookie like, and I was like, no, this is bad, and it just kind of continues from there. It's like it's got all the junk, the Hollywood stuff of I have to believe in magic, and it's like like
Tim can't even speak.
Right.
This movie.
I can't even speak.
This movie is
besides
slowing
like
your
all
mind.
Like let's just throw it out the window. Just the classic criticism that probably everyone thinks of. The CGI is just everywhere. Just remind me of Indiana Jones 4.
Well, I was going to tell you. There's a CGI jaguar in this movie, and I was just like, wouldn't it?
Why does it look so weird?
It would be at least interesting to see a real jaguar.
Why does he look so wonky?
It looks so wonky, man.
Such a deformed jaguar for some reason. And there's all the garbage tropes, like we're watching it with my wife and she's like, oh, this is the moment where the bad guy catches them and he makes them go through the booby traps first because Indiana Jones did it 40 years ago and we're just doing it. And this movie's like full of this junk.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And then there's a curse, and then there's cursed conquistadors, and there's the curse of the Pirates of the Caribbean. So that's my first question. So like, what do you think the difference? I mean, I have my opinion. I mean, I wasn't really big into the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. No, there's no reason why I don't care. It's fine.
I think for me,
big on it either.
Which aspect of I liked it and why I think it was such a great success was just purely because I think of Johnny Depp and the Jack Sparrow character. I think it was just so iconic and everyone kind of just was drawn into that guy. And I mean, obviously they made him the main character after a couple of movies anyway, which kind of undid the magic. But besides the point, I think that was like, just like with The Dark Knight, the Joker, that kind of thing. But what do you think is the main difference between Pirates and this? Why do you like the Pirates and why you didn't like this? What do you think if you compare that?
Pirates still feels like a story that they had some kind of interest in making feel engaging.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like there was some kind of someone out there was writing this and saying, I want this to make sense and I want people to feel the emotions and have the characters at least be somewhat followable when you're going through that story. And I feel like with Pirates as well, the first one, only the first one.
Okay, only the first one.
Yeah, the second, third, fourth, fifth. The first one at least had a tone. The way it was executed was also a big thing. Johnny Depp, like you bring him in and imagine that movie without Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. Imagine no Jack Sparrow character like
there would be no sequels. There
wouldn't be any sequels. It would just be like an okay movie, I guess. It would just be like a movie we'd forget. But I think that with that, all the other elements got a lot better with that. So you can't, and then trying to repeat that with Jungle Cruise, you got The Rock.
Well,
as
we'll
Frank.
Talk about we'll talk about the casting choices and I'll compare that to the old movies. I have a couple of points. So what do you think? How about something that maybe I think is a bit more tropier and just not my cup of tea than Pirates is The Mummy. And
you hate The Mummy. I don't know why, but okay.
I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't enjoy it. It's not like I'm like, oh, no? The Mummy. I just get the worst movie. No, it's just
Dude,
like
that movie's getting popular these days. I don't know why.
It's nostalgia. People enjoyed it when they were young. To me, The Mummy is like, it's not like I hate it. It's just that I don't enjoy it, and I don't understand why someone would. But it's like, but I have nothing against that movie.
But what bugs you about it? Because for me, what's fun about it is just that there's some authenticity to it, a little bit. I mean, I know that you probably don't like did you not like the tone? Do you not like the humor? You don't like that there's like this adventure thing? You don't like...
I guess it's this, like it's just the between I don't like. It's not like, it's neither, I don't know. It's just a weird in between space where it's like, it's safe, yet it's like funny, it's adventurous. It doesn't have like the feel of like Indiana Jones, which kind of is, it's, you know, it's a magical adventure, but yet it feels like with Harrison Ford and the people and stuff like that, it's you know, it's kind of like based on some kind of reality that, or some kind of, I would say, I don't know, some kind of soul in it. Well, this one's like it feels very McDonald's-y to me, The Mummy. I don't get the soul of it. Maybe I'm just, those movies, adventure movies like that, are not my childhood. So I don't get this heightened. It's just weird to me. Like, you know, how everything is like over the top. And I mean, it's a great movie and people can love it. And, you know, it could be, you know, it's totally fine. I'm not definitely into it. So, and, you know, and you guys say, you know, that one has a soul. So what do you think is the difference? What is Jungle Cruise missing? Like, if you compare it to The Mummy?
Can I say, I know that's what I'm trying to, I'm struggling with, like, comparing. I'm in my mind, I'm thinking about it. It's like this, it has the same, we're going on an expedition, you know, to find the MacGuffin and the snarky characters and the one-liners and the action set pieces and bit of terror and, you know, just all that packaged
great
together.
Stunts and
there's cursed, there's cursed scary stuff and
yes,
whatever.
There's a happy ending in the end, you know?
Is it too much to say that, like, that the execution is also involved? What do you think?
What do you think is the difference?
Well, this looked like a CGI garage movie. They filmed it in the garage and pretended it was the jungle. Nothing was real. Like it feels like you could film it, you know, on a box and then just enhance it with everything. I hated it. I was telling you, if the Jaguar was, if they got a real Jaguar, that would at least be something worthwhile to, like, observe as, like, having some kind of authentic value. Is it like, I'm just thinking, like, let's pretend the Jungle Cruise was filmed in an actual jungle. They didn't say we'll add this in
like
post.
The movie The African Queen.
Like, that movie looked good. That movie looked really good, though. African Queen.
That movie looked like they were suffering through filming of that. That looked like
it did.
An actual jungle.
But that's what gives it texture. It gives it texture, I think.
The sweat you see on those people is real.
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, you know, you watch old movies and everyone's sweaty as hell, and I was like, was that like a makeup trend? I just think that the conditions
it was
were
those
so
3,000 watt
sweaty.
lights right up their noses.
Exactly, everyone was sweaty. So yeah, but no, I completely understand. And you know what really bothered me? And it was like, yeah, okay, jungle. I mean, you know, The African Queen is a lot slower. It's not a visual.
It only has two people in it.
It has only, dude. You know, like when this movie Jungle Cruise started, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm screwed. This is gonna be a living nightmare." When The African Queen started, and the credits were over after 3 pages, I was like, "Oh my god, are these people just gonna be in a boat for the rest of the movie?" Oh no, I hope.
What,
this
with
is
Jungle
gonna be
Cruise?
okay.
I mean, you mean African Queen?
The African Queen, because it just, there's like 5 screens of credits, and there's only one, which is the actual crew, and I was like, that's little people. Even for an old movie like this, that's way little people. They're just going to be on a boat, aren't they? Because the
you're
credits
afraid
are
of
at the
that?
beginning. Yeah, I was. But
What if there was some nice character moments? I think this gives, like, if you have good actors, if you have something to glue them together, something for them to talk about, some situations for them to be in, I think you could still make a good movie out of it.
I mean, here's the thing. Yes, you can, but if it's a bad movie, you're stuck with 2 people in a boat for 2 hours. You know what I mean? So there was the worry. Like, okay, if it's going to be bad, then I'm done.
Okay, then what did you think of it, though? Once it was, like, when did you ever get into it?
Well, it starts off also weirdly. Like, you know, this movie starts off with Metallica 1. The African Queen starts off with 2 Methodist preachers from UK trying to make a congregation of Native Africans sing a Christian hymn, and it's got a really bizarre tone.
Yes, very strange.
Is this comedic? is this racist? Is what is happening right now? Because like all the people who are there, they're singing it badly. It's all over the place. They can't follow this hymn, and she's playing
Catherine
the organ,
Hepburn's sweating buckets,
sweating
the
back
organ.
and singing this hymn, and her brother is singing, and then their man, the boatman from the African Queen, our man Humphrey Bogart,
Mr.
Mr. Allnut comes with the mail, and then the Nazis, I mean not the Nazis, the Germans, the Germans come and they burn the village and then hit her brother in the face, and he dies.
Pretty much, yeah, he dies.
And then they're like, and then Mr. Oldnut is like, "I can't be here by yourself. I'll take you on a boat."
Well, yeah,
So,
because
and-
like the thing, but the way it was presented was like, it felt kind of like I didn't even know Mr. Allnut was going to be this important. I mean, of course, he was played by Humphrey Bogart, but like that aside, it didn't feel like it was going to, it just felt like he's going to be kind of like a side character or something. It didn't really even feel like he was going to be in any way like very predominant. I thought it was just going to be her and her brother,
Yeah. No, he dies. He dies.
He
immediately.
just dies. Get him out of the way.
So
Yeah, and they got in the boat, the African Queen, his little steamboat, and their whole goal is to get to. What was their goal at the beginning?
the
just to
goal was
leave.
like just to get out, and then she is crazy. By the way, this lady,
She's
is met with
nuts.
this lady she is nuts, and I guess her brother was like keeping tabs on her because as soon as she's free, the thing she wants to do.
Because she was all uptight and typically British. I would like some tea.
Yeah.
Mr. Allnut, this is definitely very, 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 very bad behavior from you.
It goes from let's have some tea to, and he's a chill dude. He's like, yeah, we'll just
I'm a
we got
minor,
whiskey,
yeah.
we got gin, we'll sit it out. We'll wait the war out and then we'll go home.
Wait for all this to blow over.
Exactly. He's like the Big Lebowski. But she's immediately, the first thing she suggests is like, let's sneak past a huge fortress where German soldiers are, and then let's go to the lake where there's a huge steamboat that has the biggest gun the Germans ever have, and let's make our tiny little boat into a torpedo, and let's blow up the boat. And she makes him do it. At first,
She makes him
she
do it.
does. And then two of those crazy, the crazy, and I get like at first it's like hilarious. What is happening? All right, the communication between them. Then he gets drunk and he's like, "Well, this is nuts. I'm not doing this. I hate you. You're stupid." And then somehow they fall in love, and then he's like, "Yeah, let's torpedo this bitch." And they
That's
do
exactly what he says in the movie as well.
I mean, so
Let's torpedo this bitch.
So to draw parallels, to compare these movies, and this is where I guess
Perils.
I mean the perils. I mean the whole magical petal in the South American jungle that heals people. That's definitely not inspired by the African Queen, but the lady getting
No, it's
on a
inspired
boat
by
with a
Anaconda's
rascal.
Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. but the lady gets on a boat, on the Jungle Cruise boat with a rascal kind of guy, and then they hate each other, and then they through adventure they fall in love and do a heroic thing at the end. I guess that's where you draw the parallel to the African Queen.
Yeah, but here I was going to tell you, like, the difference between African Queen and Jungle Cruise is Emily Blunt did 500,000 stunts in that movie, and she was like action hero, kind of like adventurer. I take no crap from no one. I'm here to do the thing I do because science. I'm writing it down in my journal, and I'm ambitious.
But I also believe in magic.
And I didn't care. But I also believe in magic because, just believe in magic. And then with African Queen, when Catherine
Just
Hepburn,
batshit crazy. She's like, let's torpedo a goddamn boat.
when they went down the turbulent waters, and it was the first time she was steering the African Queen, and she was like, "This is amazing." I felt that. I felt that so much more than the 500,000 things that Emily Blunt was doing with her stunts and punching people.
It's true. The crazy went in her eyes. She was like, I love this. Let's do things. Let's not just sit here, drink gin. Let's do things. But here's the thing. Why do they always write these action women so like poorly? Like it's
look, big companies want to fill their checks. Not checks, not like money checks, but like their checklist. The checklist has to be this. So people can go and watch it. Let's not think about it anymore. Let's not make them complex. She's a strong woman. She does cool things. Let's fill in the base level criteria to like appease a demographic and get some hot dogs on the way out. No.
Yeah, like if like she's like no mistakes, not flawed. Like there's nothing. There's not much there. It's like it's really very one dimensional. It's hard to just care. And then the other thing I would say, The Rock was very miscast in this. Like when because I watched the Jungle Cruise first, and I was thinking like,
oh, you watched the first? I watched it the other way around.
I was like thinking, why did they cast The Rock? Like I guess why. I understand why, because he's like the biggest star, and he puts tickets in the seats.
He's the most well-paid actor. Yeah, he's the most well-paid actor ever.
But like so the character what he plays, one is this African queen kind of like bum, kind of not caring, whatever. I'm lying, I'm cheating, just to get whatever I want. I don't care about anyone. Driving this crappy old boat type of guy. And then it's revealed that he's actually a Spaniard who is 300 years old, and he was a great cartographer who explored the jungle, and he helped his brother-in-law, whatever the hell is, to find the cure for his dying daughter. And he doesn't fit or play either of those characters. Like when he started, like I was thinking, like, why doesn't he like this skinny, like sweaty guy who's like shifty, but he's also like very suave. And
you mean like Humphrey Bogart, where you kind of
exactly
don't really trust him?
And then the movie started and I was like, this is exactly who I would imagine as being the character, not this overly muscly like dude who like.
Can you imagine? Like, just think about that. The African Queen with Dwayne Johnson and
oh man, that'd be so bizarre. They need to redo that. Just do it. But it's like it just. Like maybe Arnold, when he did this stuff, it was so obviously miscast that you kind of went like you just accepted it. Yes. When he's playing.
What other Arnold?
Yeah, what other Arnold, man? When he's playing an American dad and he looks like a truck and he speaks in a German accent, you're just kind of like...
Jake and I, if only Jake was here, Jake and I always joke about that. Like, I'm an American man. I'm from the United States. Born and bred.
Obviously not American whatsoever. But with The Rock, it's like that uncanny valley. Well, he doesn't have an accent. He's just huge. And it's obviously Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But it's like...
Yeah.
It just didn't work. It just felt so weird. Like
is it like in the middle?
Whole, like, I don't care. In the middle. Nobody that huge is I don't care. That man has to be working out. So and when he goes to the sensitive cartographer of the 300 years old, it's also not working.
Oh man, that's even worse.
Dwayne Johnson. It's not the sensitive Spanish man. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. None of it works. It's just
but I think
weird.
Don't you think that they just cast him because at the end of the movie, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, turns into stone?
Oh no! There you go with your Jungle Cruise puns.
Yes, ugh. I know. I was saving that. For a bit.
Oh my goodness! This is hilarious. But so and then obviously there's the trope, and this is an interesting thing. They both share this trope of which I don't understand why does it happen in movies. Do you know of this in real life where a couple meets, they hate each other, they drive each other nuts, and then all of a sudden they kiss and they're like the biggest people in love? Does this happen in real life?
Dude, I don't have this experience, so I cannot say.
I met
Do you know anybody like that? Do you know any people who are like quarreling?
I know some people and they're divorced now, so I wouldn't recommend that route. I don't know, like when I met my now wife, girlfriend, I was in love. That was it. There wasn't like, oh my God, this person so annoys me. And then like, 2 weeks later.
This isn't my idea of fun.
I love you. It's just so weird. Like it's
I think it's a trope because of how like it's polar opposite, and that's
exactly,
and that's what's fun about it. You get to watch people quarrel, and then
at least
it changes.
Yeah,
emotions.
At least in the African Queen, they're just both crazy. I think he just gives up. I think he just.
But they didn't hate each other. I mean,
no, but he's like annoyed by her.
Yeah, he's annoyed by her, but it's not like, oh, I hate being on this boat with you. He did that once when he was drunk, but that was kind of fun. That was a moment. That was a moment of exaggeration because he's intoxicated, and that's what makes it funny, in my opinion. I remember watching it. I was engaged when he said that. I was just like, yeah, he's right, But then when he gets sober, it's not like he's like, she's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, he complains once or twice, but it's not what you're saying. It's not like they're quarreling all the time and they're like, I ought to push you off the boat.
Yeah. It's not like they were like made to be here and they're like for half a movie they're just but like when they got like I was like, oh, this is gonna turn romantic, and after they just kind of switches, they kiss, and it's like because they have this successful escape, and it was like I was not on board when they turn from the just passengers to like lovers, but towards the end of the movie both of them are just batshit crazy. I was kind of rooting for them with their like. Yeah, I hope they blow up the boat in the end because like they
went
both
so
lost
far.
their minds. Yeah, but the Jungle Cruise,
they deserve it.
I don't think there was a single.
There's nothing I could
chemistry.
follow. There's nothing I could follow there. There's nothing emotional that I could hook onto.
It felt like an uncle and a niece. The way they look, and the way they act. That was uncomfortable. Them kissing was disgusting.
Oh man, there was another movie that you said was really uncomfortable when they were kissing.
I don't know. Sometimes it just feels so weird.
Damn it, I forgot.
It was so strange. And just like
I don't know what else there is like to say about Jungle Cruise other than stupid. Like it just doesn't look good to me. And it was just it was soft. Everything was really soft, like maybe you know what I mean? Soft. It's very soft.
Here's a good example.
There's no bite anywhere.
Well, we're talking about they could film on a box and just put everything CGI. The worst thing I hate about CGI movies where they just like replace everything is always the geography feels so weird and you're so lost. Everything feels like it feels like a dream where everything's changing in the background and you can't just like plant yourself in like a scene or plant yourself in the geography. And I'll give you the example of the boat. So both of these movies, they're stuck on a boat. The movie in The African Queen, it's a real boat. And within 5 minutes on the boat, you get the geography. At the front, there's some cargo. Then there's the boiler.
That boat. Yeah.
Then there's the place where they sit, and then there's a little.
Tim, you're right. I can't remember the stupid boat from Jungle Cruise. What is it? I don't like. There's all kinds of things in there.
There's like 7 levels of.
We have
deep
wide
into
shots
the boat.
of that boat, and I still don't know what it looks like.
They move. They talk on the boat. They fish on a boat. He goes inside. There's like deep levels. There's like this whole cavern where you see the discovery. There's stairs. There's doors. It's just an endless, like anything they need. We need a scene somewhere in the boat. We need this. We'll just put it in there. Nobody ever thought like, does this fit here? And it just messes with your brain. You kind of lose.
It does.
You lose like a connection with reality. You just stop caring about things because they're going on the jungle. And
it's also the environments, right? The environments are exactly the same.
Yeah, and like in The African Queen, obviously, some of the shots, like it's obviously a different place. Like they're on a boat and they're like, look, there's the elephants, and then you do the reverse shot and it looks like a different continent.
It's complete. Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's like it's only one shot. The rest of the stuff, even with the rear projection, what they use.
Oh, dude, that was
so. Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, oops.
Was your pizza ready? What's happening?
No, it's pills from my mom.
Oh, okay, good.
No, it's just like that green screen, that blue screen, that chroma keying thing. Oof, rough. But even that, like, I didn't mind. I was still engaged in some way. My attention was caught. I mean, look, there's so many levels of trying to get a movie to work. It's a miracle movies work in the first place. I'm just going to say it's just so complex. I don't know how it's possible, but it's possible. And you can screw it up very easily. Yeah. Jungle Cruise, how much money did they pour into that movie? 200 million or something?
I have no idea.
I mean, Phil, you could just, and it just felt like whoever wrote this wrote a first draft. No one cared about it. Shoot it. We need a new movie for the next summer.
Exactly. Just do it. So I want to ask you a question.
Superficial.
Before we close off our discussion today, I want to ask you, do you like happy endings or do you prefer happy endings?
No, but I don't mind them. I was very happy with the ending. What did you think? Are you talking about African Queen?
No, I think the African Queen is a deserved happy ending. I mean, they blow it up, and it feels deserved. I'm talking about the Jungle Cruise, and I'm talking. I was just watching it.
I got something to tell you about that too. Go on.
But I was just watching, and I was just seeing how it ends. I was like midway through the movie. I was like, this is how it's going.
I have to die. I have to die. Remember, it's my time to die because I'm an immortal. Highlander.
Another trope that I despise in these tropey bullshit movies is the immortal person who's like, I lived so many lives, I just want to die. And it's like, stop it with this. Nobody's immortal in history of the world.
Get help.
No one knows if you live 400 years old, you'll be like, oh, I want to die because everyone died. That's just your imagination. Stop using it. Be creative. Have a mortal person who's like, yeah, I love doing this. This is great. I get to live 1,000 lives, and it's great. Enough of this nonsense of the immortal. I just want to die.
And it doesn't happen. I was like, go through with it. Die.
No, die, Dwayne. Wrong Johnson.
Ron Swan Johnson. Die.
Swan. Oh, Long Johnson, why won't you die?
Oh, Long Johnson. You know what? And then, so as everyone knows, the climax of the movie, you can easily imagine they get to the place, just like in Tomb Raider. And just like Pirates of the Caribbean 5, which was an awful film, they use the gem that glows red to connect to the thing, and then the CG gobbledygook goes whoosh, whoosh.
And the CG gobbledygook exactly goes whoosh, 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 whoosh.
And then the tree of life is turned on, and they'll have to grab that immortality flower before the moon goes over the thingamajig. And the Germans are there.
Suddenly it's night, and Germans are here.
And the Germans are here, and the Germans, are at gunpoint telling them, "We need the flowers so we can be immortal." And then you can tell what happens. You know what happens. You don't need me to tell you what happens. But the Rock sacrifices himself. Remember, he sacrifices himself for the good guys.
Why does he get not stoned at the end? How does he get this stoned, but the other ones?
Well, because we lost all the marijuana and fell down a river.
Well. Why? I can't remember this actually. So by the way, there's these. So the story is that he is. Oh, spoilers, by the way. Oh, we should play the theme song at one point. Johnny. Yeah, that was the theme song. So spoilers also.
Okay, cool.
Put that on the beginning. Yeah, this is a spoiler podcast. Blah. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, his character is revealed to be. Can't even believe I'm saying this. He's not a rascal who does, rides on the Amazon. He's actually a 300-year-old cartographer, and his friend or brother or something like that, he went look into the jungle to find this magical flower.
In the year 1500.
Yes, and he was like, the jungle was like killing him, and they were all left to brink of life, and these native,
yes, the magical
tribesmen.
natives.
Yeah, they brought him back with this pedal, and he was like, "Tell me where the pedal is." And then
because that's what they do. They bring people back. They bring white people back to life.
Yeah. And then and then the tribesman was like, "No, I will not show you where the pedal is." I'm not sure why, but he was like, I need the pedal," so he killed all of them.
And then that montage though with the music, and
that was Metallica again.
That was Metallica.
Nothing else mattered. So it starts off with the Metallica, the famous open E. Here, let me play for you. This is when you're a kid in '90s. This is what you learn to play first because you don't have to hold any strings. You go like this.
I can't hear it.
And it goes.
Discord doesn't. Discord
Oh
doesn't.
no. Okay, so I was playing Metallica. Nothing else matters. So you play Metallica. Nothing else matters, and then that's the beginning, and then the movie starts, and then when Dwayne the Rock Johnson's brother-in-law starts killing the natives, Metallica Nothing Else Matters plays again, but just no singing, just the like instrumental. I think it was from Metallica did this concert, which was them and the Philharmonic Orchestra, so it sounded like a lot like that, but no singing.
Okay.
I would imagine it's not that. They kill them all, and then the natives are like, we curse you somehow, and then the jungle reclaims. And there's so many rules to this curse.
It's so great. It's so great.
That you forget. Like, they can't leave the Amazon, but if they do, they turn all like, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's
contrived. It's so contrived, man.
Like the Davy Jones kind of stuff, like when they're like, one's a honey
they turn
dude.
jungle. Yes.
One's a snake dude.
The cursed
but then,
conquistadors.
But it doesn't affect Dwayne the Rock Johnson because so
Dwayne the Lack Jackson.
So Emily Blunt loves him, so he's not all like snaky. So I don't know how it works, but
whatever. Get to the point. What happens at the end? They're no Nazis. They're just Germans from World War One.
Yeah, sorry, the pre-Nazis, and the pre-Nazis kind of like help them. Doesn't matter. They're all running at some point. And Dwayne the Wrong Johnson is
Dwayne the
chasing.
Wrong Johnson.
And I don't know what happens, but for some reason they all turn into rock. All of them. All the
they do.
Spaniards.
I don't remember why, but they do.
All the Spaniards are now rock, and everyone's happy. Even the Rock is the Rock. But then the
that's
Rock
right. Yes,
is not a rock anymore, and I don't know why, Philip. Why is the Rock not the Rock anymore? What happened?
He just wasn't in the area when they got rocked.
No, he was rocked too.
When did he get? No, he didn't. He got rocked at the end.
At the end, that's what I'm saying. He's rocked in the end, and
because
then
the magical rock vines grabbed him, and he sacrificed his life for his friends.
But how does he get de-rocked?
Greater love has no man. Okay, here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's stupid because it was just a foreshadowing for him when he said, "I don't want this life anymore. My time has come," and it was just that. That's it. We have to write something for him to die somehow, They didn't think about it. They just don't think about it. Don't think about it. That's what it is.
So he turns just normal all of a sudden.
Yeah, but that's because she used Emily Blunt after she was the only one to get the last flower from the tree that was turning off because they didn't get there in time to pick the flowers from the tree when the moon was on in the right alignment. So she uses the
last petal.
Yes.
Instead of to bring it back as magic, she used it on him to bring him from the rock?
Yes, to unrock the rock, yes.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just like, it's a cliche once again, but it's like...
So she has no petals in the end? She just goes back and she's like, screw science and magic.
This is what I was going to say. Listen, you know how in stories you can't just bake a cake and eat it. You can't make your cake and eat it. But these days, people always tend to do that because what happens is she spends the last petal to save the rock. So the rock stops rocking and now he's a flesh and blood human again, right? And then it's like, we don't have the last petal. And usually, like, if you want to be at least a little bit daring in a movie, you at least weave your story to have some value other than the petal. So your audience says, "Oh yeah, we didn't really need the petal. It's the friends we made along the way.
The love is the most important thing." Yeah.
Whatever, anything. You can replace that with anything. But what they did was, there's another petal. It's just on the floor there. Well, that's
wait, there was another petal?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They cheat. That's even worse. So they
see. That's what I hate. I've noticed that in movies these days, like these family movies. They never can let something go. Everyone has to. There's nothing matters.
It's exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, this is like beyond happy ending. This is just like, here's a cup. Here's a like a spoonful of sugar. Just shove it in your mouth. It's good.
Shove it in your mouth. Shove it.
Nazi gets killed. Everyone. It's great. They find another petal because like
they go to London. The Rock's happy. He doesn't want to die anymore.
You know, like how I was complaining that Jason and the Argonauts has the most random plot, and it was like, what the hell is going on? Watching this movie, I was wishing this was as random as Jason and the Argonauts. Just finish off with the skeletons falling in the water. We're done. It's good.
I would love that.
just stop the
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
where
yeah.
it was just don't just
It's horrendous, but at least we watched something stupid on this show.
I guess it was frustrating to be honest. I think most of it I was just like really uncomfortable and just like my eyes were tired of all the gunk that was happening, the CGI, so I just closed my
The
eyes
Gungle
from time
Cruise.
to time. I had a lot of
Yeah.
points. I had a lot of
What
points.
points, Tim?
No, I think we're done. I had a lot of points to talk about, like character development and about
What
like
character
comparing-
development?
No, just like I wanted to criticize The Rock and Emily Blunt's characters of like just how boring and one dimensional. But honestly, I just got angry because you reminded me of all the things, and I just figured out more from the plot. So I think that's all I can think about. This was going to be a serious like dissection, but no, it's just I couldn't do it. It's
You
okay.
can't do it. Yeah, I mean, like, what else is there? Because I watched this movie literally an hour ago, and
Oh, but that's why you're more fresh on the plot.
yeah, and like I can't for the life of me remember anything that was of value that I remember. I remember when The Rock and Emily Blunt were, where The Rock was pretending to save everyone from the Jaguar, but what turns out to be his pet because he's a charlatan.
And
in
they
the
do this
cafe.
like 100 times, well into
Yeah.
the movie where you should stop with that. But
Yeah, of course. And like I can't think of anything that stands out to me. I mean, this is like, remember we talked about adventure films when we were talking about like
Yeah.
the Ray Harryhausen trilogy back in the day when
Yeah.
when we had three hosts, and I was always talking about like sometimes I believe that spectacle has its place, and I think that there are not visual, but like moments that doesn't have to do with like primarily characters, that you remember. I mean, you remember like when you think of, give me like any kind of like adventure film.
I was
give
just
me
thinking
something,
of
Tim.
Indiana Jones, but well,
Indiana
sure.
Jones. You remember the snake pit. You remember the chase with the truck, and
Yes.
and the
tank.
What do you remember with Jungle Cruise? All I can think of is that one part where he, faked fighting the Jaguar, and I don't even remember anything about the cruise in general. Like, what were they in a waterfall? Was there a waterfall? I don't remember.
I think I don't know.
I watched this an hour ago.
Yeah. I think I just remember when they're going to like the reveal the natives people like magical tree.
Yeah,
And it was just like, it just feels like going to ArtStation and just looking at like the concept art. It's just
Yeah.
like random concept art, which is just very pretty, but it's like completely not related to whatever the story is. It's just,
you see.
yeah, no, I think my point was still like, yeah, just about the happy ending and just like how the story ends. And it was just like thinking about storytelling, and it's just I don't know. I think do you have to follow like, the traditional storyline, like can you make an adventure movie that's just offbeat? And I think like you could.
Yeah,
a story is just a section of something you decide, this is where it starts and this is where it ends. And it just feels like, I don't know. And you know what? Okay, here's what it is. Here's what it is. Wanted to talk about. You know how Emily Blunt and Dwayne the Wrong Johnson have no chemistry?
Dwayne the
It's
Wrong
so-
Johnson.
So there's this subplot which also Disney grows some pair of balls. If you're gonna have a gay character, can you just at least say they're gay or something like that, or do something?
Oh, dude, yes. What is
Please,
that all about?
what
Let's just put
years
that
does
on our
Disney-
let's put that on our check box.
Yeah, let's finish with
dance
that.
around it. Let's dance around it, and just put it there. Does it have any consequence to the film at all? No,
No,
we're
none
putting it in.
whatsoever.
We're putting
So-
it in
so-
so people can write about it online.
So you're fresh to this. So let me, because
Yeah.
I was really confused. So what I understood is it's her friend who's gay, but
Brother.
it's like it's her brother.
Yeah, that's her brother.
I thought she married him so he doesn't have
You
to
fool.
be embarrassed.
No, that's just her brother. She pretended.
That could have been so better if she married him because he's her friend and she doesn't want him to be embarrassed that he's gay because it's, it's still the
that would be cool.
beginning of the 20th
that would be
century.
very interesting for sure, and it would bring some kind of weird drama. Like, it would be kind of weird too. Like she's pretending she's her brother. Weird, but like
no consequence whatsoever. Like he doesn't find love. He doesn't. He's just
he's
like,
not a main character either. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Here's what the craziest part to me. Here's the craziest part. There's more chemistry between him and Dwayne The Rock Johnson
than
there is Dwayne The Wrong Johnson.
Dwayne The Long Johnson.
The Long Johnson. Isn't there? Like when they talk and all this stuff. Like, okay, Disney, why can they end up together?
Because they have too many Christian fundamental.
Imagine that. Imagine how amazing this movie would be, where it's like you think it's going to be this Emily Blunt, and it's just like he's this, this is passionate Spaniard man. Maybe he was in a boys back in 300 years ago. We don't know, and he's like, and they fall in love, and they're the couple, and there's just at the end when they're all three hug each other. Funny. That would be amazing. Do something interesting, Disney.
Disney's not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
No, it's got to be the couple, and they're forced to be loved on screen because, well, you have to. It's a romantic movie. You must have these two people who have no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah, it's what's it called? It's like the African Queen. We're doing that. See, it's based on the African Queen. It's wonderful.
There you go. Well, Emily Blunt is probably going to sue Disney.
She's also been robbed of.
Yeah, I read it. So the story is
tell it for the folks at home.
Movie news for the folks at home. For Jacob, who has no idea about movie news. So Scarlett Johansson. That sounds so South African.
Yeah, Swedish. Oh, okay,
Swedish.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Swedish. Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney because they released Black Widow on demand.
As she should, honestly.
And under contract, most of her pay was coming off the box office. And she had special clause. They can't release it on, on home video because that would diminish her, earnings that were supposed to be based on percentage of the box office. COVID happened. They waited for a long time, and then they were like, screw this, and we'll just release it on theater and on video demand. That's basically breaking her contract. So she's suing Disney. And I had read a line. It's not active yet, but Emma Stone has a similar situation with
Emily Blunt. Oh, Emma Stone. Okay, sorry. I thought you.
Emma Stone with Cruella, and also Emily Blunt with Jungle Cruise, because I think they all had this kind of contract, and they're all depending on the how much money they make on the box office. So there might be a sewage going.
The sewage, wonderful.
The sewage might be happening.
I
want to sue Jungle Cruise. I want to sue Jungle Cruise for hurting me with its bad moviness.
With his CGI Jaguar.
Yeah.
But to close off then,
yeah,
I am totally for the actors who are hoping to get into a lawsuit because, contrary to popular belief, even though I love aspects of things that Disney is about, like there's ideas and concepts and things that Disney makes that I love, I was never a fan of the company. You know what I mean? As it is now, I hate them. I hate them so much.
Well, there you go. They gave us this Jungle Cruise. So who wins? Who versus Jungle Cruise versus the African Queen?
I was gonna tell you about this. I'm not gonna be Phil who comes in and says, "Oh, the old movies are always better,"
No, it's not technically true. Yeah, you never know.
But I will say that if you just combined African Queen and Jungle Cruise, put the best of both in there, I think you'd have an even better movie.
I think if you take the best parts of the African Queen and the Jungle Cruise, you'll just end up with the African Queen.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
No, African Queen, not really my type of movie. I enjoyed because it was different and it was interesting to watch. I probably would never rewatch it. And the Jungle Cruise gave me cancer, so there's that.
You're not going to turn into stone as well.
I'm going to turn to
get
stoned as I watch it.
Yeah, I just remembered a friend of the show, Frank. He loves this movie. It feels like it was made for him, and I found that very, very fun and very charming. And sorry for poo-pooing this film, but I think you understand.
We give you
you're one of the coolest.
You showed you as I watched
anyway.
it.
All right. Well, interesting conversations. Very interesting. Well, with that, we have to say goodbye. We will see you in the next 2 weeks, I guess. Tim, is this true?
Indeed. We'll be back with more movies. Hopefully, the good movies are ramping up. Unfortunately, it might be the case of Green Knight that we in the Eastern Bloc will get these movies later. Also, for some reason, they forgot to all talk, and all the good movies are all being released within 2 weeks of each other, which is a bit of a. It sucks because we don't know how to do that. So we might just use the good movies and just talk about them, every 2 weeks, just spread them out because there's a lot of good stuff coming out that I'm really looking forward to. And
okay, Tim, do you want to give us a little list of the good movies you're looking forward to?
Yeah. So in October, which is also coincidentally when my second child is arriving.
Hey.
Yes, I will be a double daddy, which is will be busy time. So it's like, mamma mia. But at that same exact time, all the movies that were postponed from last year because of COVID, and all the good movies of this year are coming out, and it's like. Within October, we have The Last Duel, which is another Ridley Scott movie. And I really wanted to watch this because I never watched The Duelist. And I really want to watch it.
Wait a second. Ridley Scott is making the Gucci movie or whatever the hell that is?
He's also got the Gucci movie, but he's also doing The Last Duel.
Is that like a sequel to The Duelists?
Nope. It's got nothing to do with it. It's just except the title. But it's also about a duel. But I guess
I saw The Duelists. Actually,
I didn't see The Duelist, and I saw like a video of it, like them fighting, and I was like, "This looks really good."
I'd watch it again, honestly.
Yeah, this is written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. This movie.
Oh, the team, the Ben Affleck.
The team is
Matt
back,
Damon
and they gave it to Ridley Scott because we're like, "You did The Duelist. Do you want to do this as well?" So that's a perfect twofold combo.
And we need to get Jake to do his Ridley Scott impression.
Perfect. Then we got the long-awaited Dune. I'm a big fan of Denis. I'm actually preparing so much for this movie that I'm actually reading the goddamn book.
Wow, it got you that far. Amazing.
I really want to dive deep. That might be a long podcast. Remember,
so for me, this is all I know about Dune. Ready? This is literally all I know. Sandworms. Spice is the life. There's like spice mining going on.
Yeah.
Fear is the mind killer, and knows oxygen, and that's about it. Prophecy.
Perfect. It's and we got our boy. The 80s movie, the Dune. We can compare it to that. It's perfect.
Wow, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that one either. It's perfect. We got the French Dispatch. That I'm really looking forward to. That we got.
What the hell is that?
The French Dispatch is a movie made by the director that I really like, and he made the Grand Hotel Budapest. His name is Wes Anderson. Sorry.
Wes Anderson. All right.
So we got another Wes Anderson movie. Then we got a new Jackass movie, and Jackass was a big thing of my teenagehood. So
Oh, wow.
I want to watch Jackass like one and then a new one with you because I don't think you really care about Jackass, and that's going to be fun.
No, I've never seen it. I don't think I've even seen the movie very much.
We got Last Night in Soho, which is an Edgar Wright movie coming out.
Huh.
It's been a while since we, in the last Edgar Wright movie I didn't really like, so I'm really curious to see.
That was a long time ago.
We got Eternals, which is a MCU movie from a director. She did all these indie movies, so I'm really
we were gonna watch that one for our first Tim and Phil only beginning.
So we can do that as well, and then we got a Ghostbusters movie coming out like 30, 40
Did you
years.
See the trailer?
Yeah, 40 years, and the cast is returning.
I was gonna tell you. I watched the trailer yesterday because I'm like, here's the thing. I'm always very I'm like, I don't believe in
Ghosts.
I don't believe I don't believe in ghosts. You know, that's the tagline. We're willing to believe you. But like, I don't believe in like these kinds of sequels that are so late to the game to be any good. But when I watched the trailer, because I didn't even want to watch the trailer, it came out like weeks ago and I didn't watch it. But when I watched the trailer, I was like, yeah, I want to see this. I'd like to see this.
Exactly. So, and there's the first Ghostbusters. It's a perfect twofold combo. And all of these movies are coming out within 10 days of each other. That's crazy.
What do we do?
We're just gonna have to stack them up. We'll do something with it. We'll have to do. By the way, did you know that the African Queen? No, not the African Queen. The Jungle Cruise is directed by a man called Jean Colette Serra, who did
he did
horror movies.
I looked at him. Yeah. Scariest movie to date, Jungle Cruise.
The House of Wax. That one's one of the worst slasher movies. It was Paris Hilton getting slashed. He did The Orphan. He did The Shallows. Why is he doing the Jungle Cruise?
I don't know.
He probably was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
I think everyone was there just for that.
Yeah,
just for the money.
Give me the money. I don't know. And whatever you want, Disney, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
You want
to be fair, like, I mean, if it were me, I'm not a sellout on anything, but I would probably do it too.
I'll make you a Jungle Cruise. Just give me that dough. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's it. We're Twofold Podcast, Phil.
Hey.
And me, Tim. We got Instagram. You can chat with us. Send us Dwayne The Rock Johnson pics. And
but not Dwayne the Long Johnson.
No, not Dwayne the Long Johnson. I don't want to see no Dwayne the Long Johnson. Tell us why this movie's good and why we missed it.
And can you believe that Edgar Wright is almost 50 years old? That's unreal.
That's crazy. We're 30, man. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Edgar Wright he just looks like he's nearing his 30s every time I see him.
Almost 30. Edgar Wright.
Yeah. Every time it's Edgar Wright. It's just
So
all right.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to Twofold Podcast. This is Edgar Wright signing. I can't do it.
That sounds like Michael Caine.
This is Edgar Wright. This is Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. All right. Toodaloo.
Good day to you. Goodbye.